In today's video, we want to talk about how to make subtotals within your SQL query using the group by command. This is a query that we made in the SQL Basics video. You can find it on my channel as well. So if I go ahead and run this code with execute, then we see the order ID, the customer ID, the employee ID, the order date, the shipping, the order total, the sales tax, the line total, and the required date. And notice down here we have 217 records because probably of the where statement over here. So this is a query that we made within the SQL Basics video that I have. So I want to get a subtotal for each different customer. Notice how customer ALFKI has 2 records, ANATR has 3 records, ANTON has 2 records, and so on. I want to get a subtotal for each customer. So what we'll do is we'll use something that's called group by. Now we discovered in the last video that the order by really has to be the last statement. So I'm going to go right after the where statement and I'll hit the enter key to make a blank line. And I'll say group by, 2 words, group by. Now, if I want subtotals by customer ID, we're going to group on customer ID. So I have group by customer ID. Now, I know right now it's not going to run, but I have to show you. I'm going to put in the word execute right now. Look at the message. It says order ID is invalid in the select list because it is not connected to an aggregate function or the group by clause. So when we use the group by, there's only certain fields you can use. You can use that field that you're going to group on. So on the select statement, I can have the customer ID, but then other fields have to be either summed or counted in the following way. So I'm going to use the customer ID. Now the order ID was there, but maybe I want to get a count of the records for each different customer. So we'll have to use something that's called a count. And then I'll say order ID from there. Now I'm not going to use the employee ID right now, so I'll get rid of employee ID. I'm going to get rid of the order date. Now for the rest of the fields here, I'm going to use a sum function. So I'll do sum of the freight. I can still call it shipping, so the alias is fine. I'll have a sum of the order amount. And then we'll have the sum of the sales tax. So I'm going to encapsulate this whole thing within the parentheses. Good. Then we have this next one. I'll sum this whole thing, put the whole thing in parentheses, and that'll be the line total. And let's see what we have at the end here. And then I'm going to get rid of the required date because the required date is not part of an aggregate. So when we use the group by statement, then the fields in your select statement either have to be one of the fields that you group it on, like I could use the customer ID there, and then the rest of the fields have to be aggregates, which means they could be a count, a sum. There's other aggregates like min and max. All right, so let's go ahead and run it this time. I'll pick on execute. Okay, now for each customer, I have the number of orders. Actually, let's give that an alias. So after that count, I'll type in as count. Will be fine. Now let's run it again. Good. So I have the customer ID, the count, which is the number of records, and then these 4 fields are all summed for each different customer. So in pretty quick order, I was able to do a subtotal for each customer because of the group by customer ID. Now, you can have more than one group by field to start to get subtotals within subtotals. Let's say I want to then break it down further by customer ID and then by employee ID. So after customer ID on the group by field, I'll type in comma employee ID. So even that can have more than one field, of course separated by a comma. Now I'll come up here and I'll reintroduce the employee ID up there. So now when we run it, each one of these might have more than one record because each different combination of a customer ID and the employee ID will give us a new summary record. So I'll pick on execute. Let's see what happened this time. You see there's ALFKI for employee 4, and there's ALKFI for employee 1. In fact, let's go ahead and order that by the employee ID. So on the order by statement, I'll use the employee ID there as well. So now it'll sort it by customer ID first, and then by employee ID, and then we don't need the last sort field over there. I'm going to go ahead and execute that. Yeah, see, that makes more sense. Now I have AFKI for employee 1. They have their totals, and employee 4. Let's see, AROUT. For employee 1, there's 2. For employee 3, there's 1. For employee 4, there's 3. And for 6, there's 1. And for 9, there's 2. So that's a good example. So when we have the group by statement, that means you can start to make subtotals. You could have more than one group by statement, and then each different combination of those fields will give you a different line or a different record down in the results. And then up here in the select statement, you want to use either the fields in the group by statement, or all the other fields have to be what we call aggregate fields. So that we can use the count function, the sum. Let's add another one. So I'm going to come over here and we'll make it go to the next line. And I'll say max order amount as max, comma, min order amount as min. So in other words, for each customer, I want to see their highest order and their lowest order. I'm going to go ahead and pick on execute. And now you can see for each customer, I have the max, their highest order, and also the min. All right, so I want to show you how to do some subtotals with your SQL. We added the group by statement. Then you can see under the select statement, you can use those fields that you have in the group by. And certainly there could be more than one. And then all the other fields have to be aggregates. Count, sum, min, max would all be examples of the aggregate. Now, at the beginning, I told you that the order by always has to be the last statement. So I'll just prove that. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this text. Or I could cut it. And then paste it below the other line. And it's the same text, except the group by is after the order by this time. And notice how it just doesn't like that. So the order by, in most cases, is going to be the last statement. And in fact, the where has to precede the group by. So the order of those statements does matter. And now you can see it runs again. All right, so hopefully you got some information about how to make subtotals within your SQL query using the group by.